On-page SEO can be one of those topics that's really hard to wrap your mind around. Like, you have these keywords, you want to put them somewhere, but where the heck do you put them? How do you optimize it? And how do you make sure it's still a good experience for your users? Recently, somebody left a comment asking this exact question, but this isn't the first time I've heard this. Small business owners struggle with this question all the time. Now, here's the thing. If you don't get this right, there's a good chance you won't show up higher on Google. And in case you didn't know, your website can actually boost up your Google business profile up in that map section. And so not taking care of your website's SEO can actually hurt the amount of leads, phone calls, and contact form submissions you're getting for your business. But don't worry, in this video, I'm going to show you the step-by-step process, and it's actually going to be pretty easy for how you can optimize your on-page SEO and make sure you're not leaving any money on the table. Now, in order to start crushing your competition, there's 2 steps we have to do before we really get into the fun stuff, but bear with me, I'm going to be quick here. Step 1 is keyword research. You have to figure out exactly what people are searching for on the way to your business. Now, if you're in a hurry right now and you just want to stick with this video, let's just pretend like it's service, city, state. I talk about this a lot. Generally speaking, that is your primary keyword. Now, if you want to dig deeper on keyword research, be sure to check out this video where I break down my favorite free keyword research tool. But let's keep moving forward with step number 2, which is the SEO hotspots. Now, I might be the only person on YouTube that calls these things that. It's really like technical SEO, but that's boring. So I like to call it the SEO hotspots. Now, if you want me to do a video on just this, because seriously, if you don't get this part right, you will not be ranking higher. Why don't you leave a comment below like our friend at the start of the video did, and maybe I'll make a video just talking about the SEO hotspots. But the top 2 most important are the SEO title and the meta description. Now, it's really important that you know what the right keyword is to target, or you really are just doing guess SEO. So that's what you're going to put in your SEO title. If you want to steal my perfect SEO title formula, then check out this video after you're done with this one. But enough of all that, let's start to get to on-page SEO by getting to step 3, which is building a page for user experience. I tricked you. You thought we were going to talk about on-page SEO, but it's actually super important that we don't alienate our audience. When they show up to the page, you have 2 seconds for them to make a decision to either stay on the page or click that back button. So we can't get that part wrong. Now, I'm not saying you have to be the best web designer in the world, but you have to at least match people's expectations. Now, if you didn't go to school for graphic design, which, spoiler alert, I didn't, then what I recommend you do is find a marketing framework that you can follow and stick with it. At my local SEO strategy, we've chosen the StoryBrand framework. Now, StoryBrand is by Donald Miller. It's a really great book if you haven't read it before, even if you just listen to it. But they have a landing page template framework. This is a template that we have here in Canva that we use sometimes as kind of a jumping off point for maybe a female-owned business. And so the big thing is the hero section, which is the first section right here. You want to make sure that you hit some certain points, okay? Now, for a little bit of website psychology, our eyes usually land on the logo. You don't want it to be too big. The number 1 thing I get from clients is make my logo bigger. But this isn't about you. This is about the potential client, okay? So we just want to affirm, yes, I'm on the right page. And then we want to have clear navigation as we go across the top with a primary call to action. And then as we skim back down, because we look at websites in either a Z pattern or an F pattern, as we get down to the bottom, we want that same primary call to action. Now, just know that we want to have a really clear headline right here with kind of a subheader. And it's usually good to have a happy potential client in the image somewhere. Maybe it's in the background like this. Maybe it's off to the side with some fun graphics. There's a whole bunch of ways that you can do this. We also have like a centered version right here. So there's different ways to do this, but you want the hero section. Like, this is the place where people make the decision whether or not they stay on the page. So make sure you get this right. Now, this is an actual template that we do use in our agency. And so if you want to utilize this, just leave a comment below and I'll figure out a way to share this with everybody. Now, I'm not going to make this a full masterclass on StoryBrand, but as you go down, the whole point of StoryBrand is that you're making the potential client the hero of the journey and you're the guide. And so the next section is about pain points. You kind of want to agitate a little bit. Then you want to present the solution here. And the next thing you want to do is you want to introduce the guide. And so this would be the business owner right here in this example. Hello, stock photo business owner. Then as we move our way down, it's good to have social proof in the form of testimonials. This section is called the process, where you're breaking down the process. It's really good to do it 1, 2, 3. We don't always, have circle numbers like this, but this is just kind of an idea of the way you would do it. You could also have pricing if that makes sense for your business. This failure versus success section can be really helpful if people have made it this far down the page to remind them, oh yeah, you're dealing with this thing right now, and this could be your way out. And if it makes sense, we'll end with this kind of vibey imagine section. Now there's some other sections that aren't included in this template that could be helpful, like a service menu. For a lot of home service businesses, it makes sense to put all of your services somewhere on the page, maybe higher up. So in case they land on one page, but they really need another service, it's easy for them to hop over to that page. Make sure that you do it. And we work with a lot of home service businesses. And so another section that could be really helpful is having like featured projects and also FAQs. By highlighting featured projects, what you're able to do is to show people your work, and we're all so visual nowadays. And the FAQs can help you handle objections. Okay, so that was step 3. And so again, just to reiterate, step 3 was about getting the design and all of the elements right. The takeaway is to pick a marketing framework and stick to it. Again, I just showed you with the story brand landing page. I just showed you what it looks like for my SEO agency. But once you've done all that, you probably have the design set up. And if you know anything about conversion, putting those call to action buttons throughout the page, making it very clear what's the next step to take, making it easy to funnel out to a different service page, if that makes sense. If you've handled all this stuff, now it's finally time to optimize for on-page SEO. Let's get to step 4. So step 4 is where we actually wedge in the keywords. And it's not like the old days where we need to say, our cleaning service offers the best cleaning services in our area. And so if you're looking for cleaning services in our area, then the cleaning services you should hire are our cleaning services in our area. Don't do that. Okay, please don't do that. 1, Google's smart enough where you don't have to do that anymore. And 2, people won't like that. So just please don't do that. Now, again, I'm not revealing all of the SEO hotspots today. Again, if you want a video about that, leave a comment below. But some of the other SEO hotspots are the H1, the H2, and a couple spots in the body text. Now, I would say it's almost mandatory that you have to include the keywords here. And actually, when I first started doing local SEO, I actually did so much research on this, and I saw so much data from a long time ago where people were saying to put keywords everywhere, all the way up to more recent data where people are saying you barely had to put the keywords in there at all. So, but that being said, I do think there are some certain places where you want to put it. Let me show you. Okay, so one of the main places you have to put it is the H1. Now this is a little trick right here. If you don't know about this, then this whole video is worth it just to see this. So in the hierarchical structure that we would have for this page is this would be the H1. This would be the H2. This would just be text, and then this is a button, however your page builder handles that. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in. This is called eyebrow copy. Now, this is the thing that we want to optimize for the algorithms. If it says therapist in Boulder, Colorado, nobody's going to get upset. Sometimes I explain this to people and they're like, well, I don't want to turn people off. If people don't get to your webpage, nothing matters. Put your primary keyword in the H1 right here. Make it smaller so it doesn't obtrude. You can even like turn the opacity down. Don't break accessibility, but you can do some other things to make this kind of blend in. So that way the human's eyes see this, glance over it, and get straight to the H2, which is your real headline that you want them to read. Also get kind of good at copywriting because that's a really important headline. So like spend some time on that headline above everything else. Okay, now I mentioned putting the keywords in an H2. So you're thinking, okay, so I want to put the keyword in this H2 right here. Don't do that. Just write to the humans right here. Explain how your business solves their problem and use the word you. Maybe something like get help managing the stress in your life, or like get professional help managing the stress in your life. Don't put your keyword here. ChatGPT is going to tell you to put your keyword here. Don't do it. Scroll down. Now, it might not be here, and it might not be here. Maybe when you're introducing the guide, you can put it in here. The big takeaway isn't to put it in all of your H2s. It's to put it in like one of your H2s, maybe two. Maybe you put it in some of the H2s down a little bit lower, but you don't have to put it in all of them. And also when you're doing keyword research, you're gonna find related keywords. Now, if it's super related, like a different service that you offer, that should be targeting a different page. And that has to do with keyword clustering. By the way, I don't think I've ever done a video on that topic. So if you want to see that video below, drop a comment. But if you have a related keyword that definitely doesn't need its own page, then maybe you put that in one of the other H2s. Each H2 shouldn't be a slightly different variation of the keyword at hand here. Don't do that. Just sprinkle a couple throughout. Now, if you have H3s, say it's like a header to a list or something, that's another opportunity, but I would really focus more on those alternative keywords at this point and really focus on user experience over jamming in a keyword there. Now back to SEO hotspots, a lot of people believe that the first sentence is really important. Now, if you have something that's really short here, then I don't really like getting the keyword in here. Maybe I'll put the service name in here, like maybe you'll put time to work with a trusted therapist in Boulder, Colorado, or something like time to work with a trusted therapist that's been serving Boulder for 20 years. See, I didn't try to jam in Colorado. I still said therapist, but I said it naturally. And I was able to add some social proof by putting in their years. You can also, another little hack that you can use is you can mention like how many reviews. Let's say you have over 100 reviews for your cleaning service. You could say, trust a Trenton cleaning service that has over 100 reviews on Google, and maybe do like the 5-star emoji. Like keep it short and punchy. Our attention spans don't last very long with our TikTok-y brains that we have these days. And the last part is somewhere in this last section in the body text, it's probably good to include your service as well. Now, we don't always put this vibey section, but we do think it's important to end with a very clear call to action. And you can include some text above that, just a couple lines, and you're just kind of sneaking your keyword back in there. Now, you might be wondering, how many times is too much? Because Google's telling me I don't want to stuff these keywords, right? Well, yeah, but you got to stuff these keywords. So what's the sweet spot? Well, it's actually a lot lower than you might think. The keyword density, that's the technical term, should be between 1% and 2%. All right, let's just Google SEO Bend, Oregon. Let's see where we're ranking today. Hey, look at that. We're in the map pack. I always love to see that. Even close, still number one. Take that. We've had people chipping away at us lately. Now there's a free tool that you can use to check this out. Just go ahead and copy the link to your page, do a Google search for check SERP, all one word, keyword density, and it'll be that first result right there. And if you're still noodling on the copy, still working on it, you can just use this text input box right here. But if you are already live, you can just paste in the URL right here. And what it's going to show you is the keyword density of all the one word phrases here. So you can see we're saying SEO 5.4% of the time. So a little high, but it's not too bad. You can click here to get the 2-word results. And you can see even by 2-word results, we're actually not even at 1% for local SEO or for SEO agency or web design, which are all probably keywords we're trying to target on this page. And once we get to 3 words, most of this is just junk. Actually, it's just my phone number right there. By the way, I've been having people calling me from YouTube, and I would prefer that you text me because I'm probably working with my team who is working on my client's SEO. So I encourage you, if you want to reach out, that was the number. You can scroll back and check it out. Send me a text and say, ask me what your question is. I won't get back to you right away, but I'll get back to you. And that's pretty much it for step 4. So just review, because this was a big step as well. You have to make sure that you put your primary keyword in the H1. You want to sprinkle it into at least one of the H2s below, and then find a related keyword to put in maybe one of your other H2s. In the first part of your body text, probably include your primary keyword. And the last part of the text, also include your primary keyword. And then throughout, you want to sprinkle in some of your related keywords. Again, these are related keywords, not unrelated. If this is a different service, you want to target that on a different page. One page for one keyword cluster. Be sure to use something like CheckSERP's tool to make sure your keyword density is not over 2%, because that could hurt your ranking. Also make sure it's high enough so that way Google can see the relevancy of this page. Now this brings me to a couple final thoughts. One, you have to remember that SEO really comes down to 2 things: relevancy and authority. Today we have talked a lot about relevancy. That's what's on the page. And in local SEO, which is what you're doing right now, you want to make sure you tell Google what you do and where you do it. That's relevancy. We've just done a really good job of that. But you can publish this page, go to Google Search Console, request indexing, and you might show up on page 5 or worse, maybe even page 10 because the competition is so stiff. Remember, SEO is not about having the best content, it's a competition. And I'm going to take a wild guess that if you're out there watching YouTube, you want to crush the competition. So SEO comes down to two things: relevancy and authority. We haven't talked about authority at all in this video. And just so you know, we're working on a new video about how to get the best backlinks in 2025 for local SEO. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that one. Now, another point I want to bring up is that we haven't really talked about how to create the copy if you're not good at copywriting. And so I think another good video, and again, tell me below in the comments because I do respond to all those comments. So I hope you guys are following along and leaving comments on this video, but let me know if I should share my custom GPTs with you guys so you can actually see how you can use StoryBrand to help generate a better brand script for, say, your website or your client's website. And then you can use our copywriter custom GPT to create the rough draft of the copy for your website. If I can get 3 comments below, then I'm totally okay with sharing those custom GPTs with y'all. All right, so I can almost guarantee that your on-page SEO is way more optimized than it was before. If you made it this far in the video and you're kind of scratching your head and you want some specific guidance on what you're supposed to do for your on-page SEO, well, actually, we can totally help you out and it's totally free. Just go to thencandesigns.com/SEO. Thencan Designs is my SEO agency. Just go there. .com/SEO, click that orange button, fill out the form. It takes like 5 minutes. And if you qualify, some businesses don't qualify, don't worry, we'll send you some free resources if you don't. But if you do qualify, then I will send you back a personal video, be about 10 minutes long, probably without the lights, and I'll help you with the on-page SEO, I promise. And if it's not me, I promise to be one of my best team members doing the video. Now, if you're feeling hyped up and you're like, yes, it is time to start optimizing my page, remember, step 1 is to make sure you're targeting the right keywords. And that means you're 100% sure you have the right keywords, right? But if the answer is no, then I encourage you to check out this video where I show you my favorite free keyword research tool. And within 10 minutes, you'll know exactly how to use that tool, get your primary keyword, and you will be ready to optimize your on-page SEO. So why don't you go check out that video and I'll catch you in that one.